Good afternoon, everyone. I am Jen Arthur Mayra Molon Embog, and I am the next reporter. So for today, I'm going to continue the report or the discussion of Ms. Dumaran about different curriculum design. Okay, so number 2, learner-centered design focuses on the needs, nature, and interest of the learners in the curriculum. So the aims of this learner-centered design is to develop the potentials and abilities of the learner. So in making curriculum relevant and responsive to them. Also, the heart of learner designed or centered approach is to decide first what student can and should learn in relation to this course, and then how to assess a student performance and figured out how such learning can be facilitated to them. Also, students choose what they will learn, how they will learn, and how they will assess their own learning. So student-centered learning requires the student to be active, responsible participants in their own learning and their own pace of learning. So next, letter A, activity experience design. This concentrates on activities that are meaningful and interesting to the learners. So, in doing these activities, learner will develop various skills such as process skills, communicating skills, and many more. So, some types of learning experience include group experience. Yan, group experience in their either in person or in online or a distance learning. So next, individual experiences with self-product or both groups and individual and learning experience. So letter B, humanistic design. The curriculum is composed of topic and learning experiences that focus on the holistic development of an individual. So it says that the goal of this design is to the development of a well-rounded student or individual. So the learner as human being as a prime significance for the humanistic curriculum, which aims at development and realization of complete human personality of the student. So the humanistic curriculum does not take student as subservient to society, history, or philosophy, but as a complete entity. Okay? So the next, some examples of these activities include open debates. Yan. So writing of newspaper article, field trips, student-chosen projects, presentations, and written reflections on learning. So this type of activities centralize learners and give them choices. Okay, so it also fostering their interest in passion in the subject. Okay, so for number 3, problem-centered design. So this curriculum design focus on understanding and finding solutions to individual and social issues and problem. So in this design po, it says that they required student to use their own skills, own skills and knowledge of different subject and disciplines as they engage themselves in meaningful learning such as social and individual problems just like poverty, climate change, and many more. So it helps the student or it helps us to be more open-minded about the problems that they experience. Okay. So next, letter A, thematic design. This design suggests the thematic approaches to integration. Almost almost all model advocate this approach. So in letter A, the thematic design, it is called thematic because its content is arranged around themes that are familiar to the learners. So the teachers are expected to use a familiar area languages as a medium of instruction. So also the themes can either be guided question. Yan. So activities or standards and skills, but the purposes and goals are all intended to provide an educational that is holistic, meaningful and relevant to the life of learners. So letter B, problem design. The learners are exposed to different lessons in problem solving involving real life problems. And also, the learner are exposed to some practical issues or situation that is important to them and to their community, which helps the development of skills that are transferable to the real world. Number 4, core learning design. This curriculum design focuses on the learning a set of common subjects, disciplines, courses, skills, or knowledge that is necessary for student to master. So the aims of this design is to provide a uniform type of education based on a certain philosophy or educational theory. So this curriculum began in the early part of 20th century in the US. So it is an experiment on liberal higher education and it remains until now. So it also the central themes of this design is not just to provide a common learning to students. It is also aims to provide an education that is transformative and relevant to all types of learners. Letter A, core design. This is a set of common subject, disciplines, or courses that are required for students to study before they graduate or move to different levels. So for example, as in our high school days, 'di ba? What is the subject that taught to us in high school? For example, math, science, English, history, and many more, right? So yeah, in middle school, it is a subject considered essential to suitable education as in providing necessary skills or common cultural knowledge. So the purpose of this core curriculum at universities is supposed to be provide students with the skills of critical thinking, provide writing efficiency, mathematical literacy, and physical education, service learning, and community engagement. Okay, so letter B, National Core Curriculum Design. This is a set of subjects or courses that are required to be taught to all students across the country. So the National Core Curriculum for Basic Education has been reformed in 2014. The core curriculum provides a common direction in basic and basis for renewing school education and instruction. So from the word national core curriculum design, this core curriculum is prescribed by states through the Department of Education or DepEd or the Commission on Higher Education or the CHED. So the example of this national core curriculum designs are the general education curriculum for undergraduate courses and of course K to 12 program or K to 12 curriculum for basic education. So I know that most of us here came from K to 12 program, right? So that's it. That is my report all about. Thank you for listening. And now I'm going to introduce to you the last reporter in our group, Miss Melen Sidoripa.